Hello everyone, welcome to my channel World of AWS. I hope you all are doing good. We are continuing with Terraform tutorial, and in this video we are going to discuss about a strong separation between environment. Okay, so creating a strong separation between environments like dev and prod is a best practice in the cloud infrastructure. So here why and how this code help to isolate the environment. Okay. So the first point is logical isolation. Each environment, example dev and prod, will get its own VPC. So in what manner it will be isolated? Isolated IP space, separating route table, subnet, gateway and etc. No accidental network level interface. So isolated IP space means it will not going to have the same kind of IP for both the environment. Okay, you can separate it, you can give different CIDR for both the environment and you can separate it and you can isolate the environment. So separate routing table, subnet, gateway and etc. So you can also like use separate route table, subnet, gateway and so on, whatever resources you need for your VPC you can create those and you can use for the specific environment like dev or prod. Okay, so both will have its own routing table, subnet, gateway and so on. Okay, so no accidental network level interface means the both environment will be totally isolated from each other. So if you are going to change something in the dev, okay, it will not affect the prod. Okay, so let's go to the another point, configuring via module. If you are using module, you can call the same module like this. So what you can do, if you have developed some module for VPC creation, you can call the module for dev environment as well as for prod environment and you can provision the VPC. Okay, like this as we can see it here. So module VPC dev we are calling, module VPC prod. Okay, so like that you can call it and you can give the name to your VPC. Okay, and you can reuse the same module for different environment, that you don't need to write this module from scratch. You can use the existing module and you can provision the resources VPC quickly. Okay, so let's go to the another point, easier governance and security. You can apply different IAM role, NACL and security group for each VPC. So what you can do, you can create different type of IAM role, network access control list and security group for both of the environment VPC. Okay, that will isolate that the environment as well as the VPC configuration as well. Okay, so enforcing a strict policy is easier when resource don't share the same network. Okay, so you can apply some kind of like policy on each environment, like what kind of resources a user can use in the dev environment, what kind of resources that and action a user cannot directly perform on the prod environment. Okay, so that your business is not get impacted. So disaster isolation, if dev fail, example someone breaks something, prod is completely unaffected. Okay, so in the some of the cases, like in the rare cases, if dev environment is not working properly and it's down, okay, then your prod environment is not going to get affected by the whatever action the end user or your team member like who having not proper idea of the environment and the infrastructure setup, he did some kind of modification and everything, the application was down. Okay, so in that case dev environment will be down, but you have the another environment, that is prod, that will be keep running and with the unaffected and without any downtime. Okay, so here I have written the summary. This Terraform code help you to cleanly separate VPC per environment, enabling better security, less risk of accidental interface, a scalable and reusable infrastructure via module. Okay. So, let us go ahead and see it practically. So, here I have created two directory, one is environment and another one is module. Okay. So, inside the module I have created VPC folder, and inside the VPC I have file main.tf and output.tf and variable.tf. Okay. So, let us go and let me explain one by one. So, here I am just creating one VPC, I am not attaching any resource to this VPC. Okay. Just to make this video and the example easy and simple. Okay. I am not creating multiple resources and not attaching to this VPC. Okay. So, as you can see here I have defined resource AWS VPC main and CIDR var.vpc CIDR, we are getting it from the variable, and I am defining the tag environment name and the VPC. Okay. Suppose if we are creating it for dev, then the tag will the VPC name will be dev VPC. Okay. And if we are creating it for prod, then it will be the VPC name will be prod VPC. Okay. So, let us go to the output.tf. Here we are only outputting the VPC ID, as you can see value AWS underscore VPC main, that is the local name and the ID. Okay. Go to the variable.tf. Here we are defining two variable, one variable for VPC CIDR and another variable for, as you can see it here, environment. Okay. So, let us close this and go to the dev one. So, if we go to the variable.tf, in the same way we are defining the variable here. Okay. And in the tf var we have defined the VPC CIDR and we have also defined environment value. Okay. In the form of key value pair. Let us go to the main.tf. Okay. So, we have defined here provider, okay, with the profile. Okay. And then we have defined the, we are calling the module, that is VPC. From here we are calling, we are going to directory back, right, to reach to the this module. Okay. And then after that we are giving the VPC CIDR and we are giving the environment name here, right. So, let us go to the backend.tf. Here we are setting up remote state backend, okay, that is S3. So, I am using the native state locking as well. As you can see, we have to use underscore log file equals to true, right. So, that will enable the native state locking with the S3 and you do not need to create DynamoDB table and so on. Okay. So, if we go to this variable prod variable, we have the same kind of variable defined for this environment as well. Okay. But here we go, if we go to the main.tf, here we have profile prod. Okay. Means profile prod means it will run with the prod user access. Okay. So, whatever like you can use IAM role, you can use access key, secret key and IAM for the IAM user prod you can create and you can define like you can configure the access for that using AWS configure and you can provision the resources. Okay. So, module here we are calling VPC and we are referencing the module VPC and we have defined the CIDR and environment we have defined the prod. Okay. So, in the same way we have done for both the environments. Okay. But some are the parameters that have been changed in in to isolate the both environment Okay. So what you need to do? So let's go to the readme.md. I have added here as well. So what you need to do? So first you need to go to the cd environment dev. Okay. So let me go and let me open the terminal, new terminal. So let me run Terraform init. Okay, so we need to go to the dev environment, right? cd env. Now let's go to the cd dev, right? And now we have to run Terraform init. Let's see. As you can see, it's downloading the module, right? And then after that, it's installing the AWS provider plugin. So whenever you define any module and you run Terraform init, it will first download the reference module from where you reference it. Okay. Then after that, it will do the another task, that like downloading the AWS provider plugin and so on. Okay. So we ran already Terraform init. Now let's run Terraform plan. And from which environment we are running? We are running it for dev, right? As you can see. So we are going to create dev VPC. And for like to help you and to like perform this action, I have given the readme.md as well. I will be committing into the GitHub so that you can also refer. Okay. So I have given all the command that I am going to use in this video. Okay. As you can see, plan 1 to add, right. So let's run Terraform apply. So let's run Terraform apply with the we have to use var file and the tfvar that we have defined here, right. So we have to use that command. So let's run. So whatever value have been defined here in the tfvar of dev, it will create the VPC using that. Okay. So let's give the confirmation yes. So as you can see, apply completed, 1 added, 0 changed, 0 destroyed. So let's go to the AWS console. Let's go to the VPC to see the VPC. So in which region we have created it? Let me go and check. So we have given the US 3. So that's why I was not able to find it in US East 1, right. So let's go to the Paris 1 US 3. So you can see dev VPC, right. We have just created it, and you can see DHCP option set, main route table and so on. Okay. And as you can see, default VPC no, because we have created this, and the another VPC that is come by default whenever you create AWS account. Okay. So that will have the default default VPC value is equals to yes. Okay. Is the if the like VPC is default. Okay. So we have created the VPC. So let's open this to see all the parameters. As you can see, the main route table, the route table which comes by default, that is attached to this VPC, and ACL is also there. You can see we have VPC, we do not have any subnet attached to this VPC, we have route table, and we do not have any internet gateway and VPC endpoint or something that could like serve the traffic to the internet. Okay. So, let us go back and let me open the another terminal and let us go to the readme.md. Okay. So, as you can see, now we are going to run for prod environment. Okay. So, what we need to do? We need to do cd and env. Okay. Now, we have to run cd and prod. Now, we have to run now Terraform init to initialize the backend. So, as you can see, both environment have separate TF state. Okay. Both environment have separate TF state and it will not share anything that could affect another environment. Okay. So, let us run Terraform plan to see what resources it is going to create, right. So, I have mentioned the here command to configure profile for both environment. So, if you have like not configured this command for different environment, okay, you can use this command and AWS configure -- profile and dev as well as for prod. You can configure it and you can configure the your access key, secret key and so on. Okay. So, let me run it Terraform apply tfvars from prod, right. So, yes, we want to create the VPC. Because why we are using this in why we are configuring profile. So, we are configuring profile because we are using the isolated creation of the resources for the different environment. Okay. And we should create two different user in order to use this two different user like prod and dev, and then after that we have to configure the profile as we have defined here in the profile dev. So, you have to configure the profile. So, our VPC is created. Now, let us go back to the AWS. Let us open the VPC. Okay. So, let us refresh this. As you can see, we got the prod VPC as well, that we have just created it, right. If you see here, we have just created it and let us open it. We have same kind of flow here in the resource map. So, we do not have any internet gateway, VPC endpoint or something that can route the traffic to the internet, right. So, we have successfully created like VPC for the multiple environment in isolated way, that one environment changes will not affect to another environment. Okay. So, this is how we can isolate one environment from another environment whenever we are going to work for real time project, okay, for any organization. So that's it about this video. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you have any query, any confusion regarding this video, then please do let me know in the comment section, and do not forget to subscribe my channel. And if you are new to my channel, then do check out my other playlist as well. Thanks for watching. See you in the next.